Hi everyone, welcome. It is 11:11 Colorado time. I am Deb Sheppard and we are going to do a class on the summer solstice, which is showing up on June 21st. I want to also acknowledge that this is also the day for June teeth if I pronounce that wrong because my mouth wants to say something different, but this is a time that we want to honor anyone of the Black community about the change in history where it was announced that the slavery was basically done. And so it's also a holiday that we want to acknowledge and send out a lot of love to our community. But today is about summer solstice. I have a lot I want to share because it is an extremely powerful day. It can be life-changing if you choose to take on some of the directions I'm going to give. So what I'm going to do is talk about the power behind the summer solstice. And if you've never heard of it, it's kind of new. You sort of, heard someone talk about it, but not really sure what it means. I'm going to give you some direction and insight on that and some powerful ways to create the most powerful day of the year to change your life. So I'm so excited because when I look at summer solstice, there are so many things from science to tradition to celebrations that sometimes we don't even realize that we've been celebrating it or that it's been around for hundreds of years. Actually, summer solstice has been celebrated throughout centuries for communities and cultures that want to honor the big power of the sun because of what it provides for us. Even the Druids celebrated the summer solstice at Stonehenge, and I know that there is gatherings there on the June 21st when the sun is coming up because it is life-changing. Summer solstice is the longest day of the year, and if you look at science, if you're that left brain, what does this mean? Not only is it the longest day of the year, but it is the furthest from the sun. And we would think, well, it's summer, so we should be closer, but it's actually how we're tilted and how we move around the sun. The other information that I thought was great,
I was just going to say, maybe we shout out
Sure.
and let people join, and then you dive into the topic only because people are still joining. Lots of people are still joining. I know you're excited.
I am excited. I have all this good stuff. So
Yep.
Dana behind the camera is my wife. She gets to manage everything. And yes, I have so much I want to share. I've been really excited about bringing all this to our community. So if you're just joining us, welcome. I'll backpedal. You didn't miss. We're going to review that. And also, the shout outs. Who's joining us? And we know last minute, a lot of people are like, I want to join, which is so honoring. And we are grateful for the people that want to be part of this community today.
Yes, and
tomorrow and Wednesday.
I'm still letting people in to the group.
So do we have some procrastinators? Maybe that should be something about the summer solstice to look at. Something I should put on my list of intentions.
Yes, so
I'm going to slow down here. My coffee is taking place, but I'm going to back it up just a little tiny bit.
It's a great information.
I'm just like, there's so much things I want to share. Just a lot.
Yes. So just some shout outs. Type in where you're from and I can see you all joining in. We've got Barb Castle joining in, inviting people to join. We've got Gretchen. Hi, Gretchen.
I think it's Gretchen's birthday today, so let's celebrate. Shout outs.
We won't sing, but we will wish you a happy birthday.
You don't want me to sing. Talk to your relatives who crossed over, but no, not sing.
Laura from Parker. We've got Deb Cross. All joining in.
Hey, ladies.
And lots of people still joining, so it's going to take a minute for everybody to get
on. I'll take a pause. I'll let myself, marinate and let everyone come on, and I'll have my quiet voice. So if you're just joining, you're so excited about the summer solstice, and if it's, again, new, I've heard the word, I kind of understand it, or maybe this is something you've done every year, and so it's much more familiar. And I really want to bring in some impactful things that can help you in the middle of the year, because so many times we think, oh, well, it's the new year or it's my birthday, so this is when I make changes. And actually, summer solstice, which is June 21st, is a very powerful day. And there's lots of reasons for it. So if you were on a little bit earlier, I was talking about it's the longest day of the year. And, looking back, I grew up in California, Northern California. So the sun having great sunny days was so wonderful. And when I moved to the Midwest, there were a lot of cloudy days, and it was sad. There was a lot of sadness. So the sun really changes our entire vibration and energy. It makes us want to do things and get out and not have that hibernation, which we do during the winter seasons. So I'm going to get Dana's permission. Can I continue to move forward? Direction. Or do we have more shout outs?
Yeah, more shout outs. Just a couple. Lynn Garza from Georgia joining in. We've got, let's see here, Karen from Nebraska. And
great.
It's 11:11 Mountain Time, 12:11 Central.
Yeah.
People are questioning the timing, but we're on time. This is the correct time. Hi from New Jersey from Lynn. So
New Jersey, yeah, East Coast.
Yes. So welcome everybody. Deb's going to dive into the topic.
And so whether this is your first time watching me on Facebook Live or you're a supporter and been following for a long time, either way, thank you so much. If you're hearing a voice and just got on, that's not your relative that's passed. It is actually Dana, my wife, that gets to manage behind the scenes and make sure everything is working, because my job is actually probably easier than hers, but it's also giving me direction so that if we need to include anybody or we have things that I need to address, she sort of brings me back in and lets me do that. Summer solstice, going back a little bit on science, if you're a left brain individual, June 21st is the longest day of the year. And what it means for summer solstice is solstice means sun, so that's part of it, and then standing still. So it actually looks like the sun is standing still. So that's why it's a longer day. It's a very powerful day energetically to our planet, and our planet feels it. And this is why it's been celebrated hundreds of years. And what I was talking about earlier was the Druids, and I don't know if that's the first discovery of, documentation that was summer solstice was celebrated, but the Druids celebrated this day on June 21st at Stonehenge, which, wow, what a powerful energetic thing that would be. But you don't have to be at Stonehenge in order to create a powerful intention. And my goal is to be able to give you that intention so that you can create what you want and desire and want to release during June 21st, because we celebrate all the time. I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we celebrate and how we can create that. But also, anyone that's a science mind, that left brain, is back in 1633, Galileo. My tongue, I'm having trouble with my tongue. It hasn't been working enough this morning. But anyway, was basically imprisoned because he believed that the earth rotated around the sun, and he had to retract that because the community was really upset, talking about limiting beliefs and things like that. And I'm sure today he's laughing about being right. Maybe the ones that thought that everything revolved around the earth were actually what we consider narcissists today. So that brings up the fact that this is how powerful this day is in our world. When we celebrate all the time, we celebrate holidays, we celebrate, the New Year, the 4th of July. All of these celebrations are created for intention. And whether it's a celebration of someone's passing, or whether it's a celebration of a birth or a wedding, people can celebrate the end of something in their life, whether it's a retirement or even a divorce where they're making changes. So celebrations are probably in your everyday life in a lot of different ways. When someone says, hey, this is going on, I go, let's celebrate. But today, or on Wednesday, which is June 21st, summer solstice, is a day to bring in all your power, every single thing that you desire to really make the impact, because you have a universe that is also supporting this. And many times we think we have to do it on our own, but actually you are using the energy of the planet and the universe to help you make these changes and shift. And that's the power behind it. So in your intention, this is about being focused, how to move forward, how to release things that no longer serve you. It's to plant and rebuild. And the sun brings in all these great crops. This is when our vegetables and fruits are just at the peak for most of them, and we really enjoy, so it's feeding the soul. Sometimes we get overwhelmed, like, what am I going to create? What am I going to change? What is it? And part of this is it's very personal, and it might be something very simple as, I want to get healthier. I want my mind to be more clear. It could be finding a partner, changing careers, opening up a business, maybe travel, being more intuitive. So there's really no wrong or right way. And many times I hear, well, can I ask for this? Can I do this? My teaching is always about, it's not what you write, but are you controlling it? So sometimes I want enough may not be your language. So I want enough money, or I want enough dust, versus saying, this is what I'm trying to create abundance, and don't put those limitations. So that's the only kind of guidelines I would say. But there are so many fabulous ways of doing this. So also, because we know it's the sun, the power behind that energy is fire. In China, they look at the summer solstice as a balance of yin and yang. And that's truly what all of our energy is about. It's about the yin and yang, the balance of our own energy. Are we working too much and we need to pull back and find joy? So that could even be an intention. I want to find more joy. I want to put boundaries on having to do it all and creating more fun in my life without having the guilt around it. So with that said, this is why the yin and yang, why people flock to beaches. We have the sun and we have the water. We have that balance of the yin and yang. Many people create bonfires in order to celebrate summer solstice. And these bonfires can be a gathering that you bring people together. It could be where you're writing your intention and burning it in the fire. Some people may walk across the fire. Now make sure you're taking care of who's taking care of you when that's happening. Also the water ritual. It's all about the cleansing and that release. So if you're feeling like it's time to release certain things in your life, making something around water. So it could be going to a lake, a river, the ocean. It could be a bath or a shower, making that intention of releasing what no longer serves you. So those are just a couple of things, but there are so many things about honoring the summer solstice and bringing it in so you can be part of this. And if we think about the entire world celebrate summer solstice, it doesn't matter what culture, your background, your education, your financial status around the world. Even in New York, people come from all over the world on June 21st to do yoga to bring in summer solstice. People around the world on this day, and they've been doing it for 20 years. Is that not really magic that they want to bring in? They want to shift their energy. They want to be able to take their body and shift and release, and do it with people with all cultures. So when you are acknowledging summer solstice and you're celebrating it, this is something that the entire universe, our entire planet is coming together with. So what a great collective energy. This isn't about religion, race, financial means. This is everyone is realizing that our sun that we rotate around, that gives us a life and brings so much beauty to us, is celebrated for change. Okay, some great things you can do. We talked about the bonfire. Now, of course, we want you to be smart about where that bonfire is. So, have it controlled. Don't go out into the wilderness and do a fire, but create an intention. And it can be small with candles. It can be, a fire pit that you've created. But bring in a gathering if you're comfortable with that. Bring in other people that want to celebrate and maybe release or create an intention. When we bring people together and we break bread and we have that is a vibration of a community that shifts our energy as well. So that is number one of the first things. This is probably not for me, but for a lot of people, waking up and being there to watch the sunrise and the sunset. Now, maybe I can be there for the sunset. Sunrise for me may be a little bit more challenging, but if this is something that really resonates with you, having that energy and watching the sun come up to start the longest day of the year and watching the sun go down to celebrate the longest day of the year. So you can do the celebration on your own and write down what your intentions are. Gatherings, of course, are beautiful. We gather for so many things, for holidays, for celebrations. That breaking of the bread has been done over hundreds and thousands of years. That is something in tradition that when people bring things together and they share, it's part of that community. I'm going to recommend that when a gathering that you bring fresh herbs, or you go to a market, a farmer's market and bring things that have been grown in your community so people can share what has our planet brought. And it's because of that sun that we're able to continue taking care of our bodies and souls. So it's really all the pieces that come together that we don't always recognize. Get outside. This is a great time of year to get outside. Here in Colorado, we've had a lot of rain, but we have this beautiful deck that I really love because when I'm inside all day, getting outside, taking that deep breath, enjoying that, enjoying the clouds and the trees and the birds and nature, this is something that if you're not doing, highly encourage you to do. If you're a person that's already an outdoors person, you do hiking, you do things, take it with the intention of recognizing the planet in a whole different way, honoring what the sun does for our planet. Maybe even leaving things when you're walking for intention. So it might be, food for squirrels or food for birds, maybe not all the squirrels, but maybe for that, to place things in the outdoors, getting connected to water, taking your dogs for a walk. What's important, though, is to acknowledge it in a different way than what you normally do. And I got to say this because it's important. Wear sunscreen, especially here in Colorado, too. I'm going to talk about an altar, but before I go there, I'm going to talk about the intention branch. I have a branch to kind of give you an example, but if you're a creative person or you're wanting to open up the energy around being creative, is an energy branch. And so this is one that is called a talking stick that was created in one of our classes. But you're just taking a branch that maybe you have in your yard, or maybe that you have, you don't want to go steal it from the neighbors without their permission, those kind of things. But you create something that is very summer. So summer colors, maybe things that are shiny and blingy. And then on this, you would add some things that for your intention. You would put some things that are putting out there in the universe so that the sun shows on it. You put it in your garden, outside, maybe on a door, to really bring that outdoor energy in. Because we're inside so much at the time that bringing that in and having the intention that every time you walk out there, you're noticing what you're planting and what you're wanting to rebuild. So it has all these layers of metaphors of the rebuilding. A branch is another extension of your life. So these things can be really integrated when it comes to your intention and manifesting for the next 6 months, if not longer. Okay, so it doesn't have to be for 6 months, but we're going to just say that for now. If you're a creative person, I always encourage you to bring that in, because that helps when we hear, when we talk, when we do something active, it actually changes our vibration for things to happen better. I know a lot of times when I tell to people, go write this down. They go, well, I have it in my head. To me, that's an example of, I want to build muscle. I don't want to really carry and do weights, but I have it in my head that I want to build muscle. So it's action. When you take action, it actually is a shift in your vibration, because then it helps mirror the universe, and the universe goes, oh, I feel action, and it acts in response. So this is something that is vital. If you think, oh, I got it in my head now, and we hear this, we have people prepare for sessions and they go, oh, I have it in my head. No. Action is it. So if you think about action being no different than building muscle, if you think about it in your head, unfortunately, it doesn't create muscle. It doesn't change how your body is. If you're wanting to make change, we have to be active in it. One of the things I talked about is an altar. And for some people, this may be going, an altar? I mean, I'm not religious. What does that mean? What are people going to think if they come into my house? Actually, it can be really fun. And then I've encouraged my students to do, and in order to direct all the energy, again, this is about action and not sitting back and just going, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, but no, it's participating in your life. And what I've always taught is, I'm not going to work harder for your life than you are. You've got to participate. If you've ever had a teenager in your life, it's, I don't want to do that. No. Think of yourself as being resistant So if you're wanting to make changes in your life, you're wanting to have things show up differently in your life, it means that we have to be an active participant in our life. And this doesn't have to be a lot of money. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. So I've got some fun examples. And before I show you examples, think about what you already have in your house, in your environment, that already is sort of an altar. We just don't call it that. So if you have a table that has a lot of photos of loved ones and maybe little trinkets from travel, it's kind of an altar that you're honoring the people in your life, living or past. And maybe these trinkets are the fact that you loved going to New York or Europe or in Colorado. So you have these different things that are in display of your altar. If you have a faith or a strong religion, maybe you have an altar with symbols of the things that you believe in. You're just bringing those things together in order to have a vision of things that you're passionate about. So whether it's on your front porch, on your deck, on a table, on a mantle, we already create a lot of altars. We just don't call them that. So you're integrating this intention of summer solstice to say, this is my sacred place. I'm creating this sacred space for me to create an intention so I can have these things as I move forward in my life. The biggest thing that I teach in my solutions program is when you show up 50%, the universe shows up the other 50%. But you've got to show up 50%. And it doesn't mean in your mind you've got a picture of it. It means action. It's taking action. So some fun things to show that maybe you could think about this around your home already, or that you have, or if you're out saying, I want to create something new. I want to have a new altar. I want to bring in new vibes, new energy. So these are some fun things. This is one of my favorite things. If you are a fan of, Dana, what's the
Yellowstone.
movie? Yellowstone, thank you. If you're a fan of Yellowstone, you're going to totally get this. One of my students, Becca, gave me for my birthday a couple of years ago, Beth, on this sacred candle. And everyone has seen these candles, at the grocery store or other places. I like her. Matter of fact, I'm looking for how to put more wax in here because I would light it all the time. She has confidence. She doesn't worry about what other people think. So if you are looking for a powerful place in your life where you're thinking, I just want to be me. I want to be authentic. And I want to say and create boundaries. I want to see my value and worth. What a great thing to do. So this isn't about hitting somebody or, whatever.
It's not about acting like Beth.
It's not acting like Beth, even though I think she's pretty powerful and she is acting. But she just doesn't take crap from other people. She is very clear about what she wants. And, if you haven't watched Yellowstone, then you may be like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, Deb. But bottom line, she's pretty powerful, but it's the confidence. And so if you're looking for confidence and how to trust your intuition and set boundaries and see your value, something like that can be on a great altar. Very simple. These blocks, I have a couple of them, and it might be things like trust the universe, calm is a superpower, you are enough. Again, these are things that are probably around your home already or that you have out and about. You can shop Home Goods. If you've never been to Home Goods, it is a go-to. I think I even got this from Home Goods. It's things that are not going to look like, what is that? This is something that's around that's for your energy to create your intention. This is something I also have. It's a collective little, I forgot what it's called, but she's celebrating joy. Maybe you want more joy in your life. Maybe you want to celebrate yourself. Maybe you're just like, I don't care about what people think anymore. I'm going to be me. This is that feeling of, wow, I am going to go out there and I'm going to do it and I'm going to travel. I'm a big believer. Matter of fact, how this changed my life was feng shui. So it could be books or magazines on things that you want to learn about, that you want to be able to say, this is some things I want. So these are very, very simple things that you can make as an altar that can be, in a way, very transformative and simple. Dana has something else she wants to show me.
I was just going to say, even crystals, because we use these a lot. The selenite, for example.
Selenite, if you're wanting to, don't put this in water. Just FYI, they will dissolve. Unless you're wanting to release, it might be a good thing. Crystals are easy to get. You probably, again, have them around your home. They make it pretty. Selenite is about your intuition. It's about alignment. this is what an altar and intention does. When you're wanting to manifest, it's getting clarity. So if you're looking for a job, you're looking for a partner, you're looking to make changes in your life, you got to get clear. And that clarity means putting the intention out there and surrendering to the ability to let the universe show up. So many of us want to control. And that's why if you're just joining us again, it's backing up and saying, I want enough, or I want it to look like this. Don't control the outcome, because it's usually better and more powerful when you're able to just say, I have so much money, I'm enjoying life, and I can travel, and I can share, and I can do a bunch of other different things. So manifest in a way that it's open-ended, that there isn't these, box sort of situation. When you look at the altar that you're creating, make it fun, something that is visually stimulating. When we use all of our senses, that's when things become more active in our life. And what you're looking for is a response. So when we say, well, I've already tried to manifest and it doesn't work, well, there's probably a lot of reasons. And part of that is, are you clear? What action are you taking? And are you sure that's exactly what you want to create and manifest? So many times we think, well, what they have is what I want. It could be that you're just looking for peace. I just want to have more. I don't want drama in my life. I want it to be more simplistic. And I like to take out the word want, because I think the word want is always, I'm always going to be wanting it. So it might be, I have this. I love celebrating this. So act as if these things are here. And when you are able to present it that way, all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing the signs, which is really cool. I don't know, do we have any questions about any of this before I keep going?
I think people are just enjoying the
Good.
teaching.
Okay.
This is great info. So comments about this being very powerful. This advice is gold, Mackenzie says.
Thank you.
Love the candle. Love the Beth Dutton candle. There is one comment if you want to address it. Maybe. I'm not super religious, but I think the Bible says not to have false idols. However, sayings on a picture or statue of an angel might be okay. So I thought,
this is not me telling you how to do your faith or how you want to celebrate the summer solstice. This is some ideas for people that may not be creative or think that the altar has to be religious. And that's what I was saying. If you have a faith that you want to bring that in, absolutely. There are some people that take my program that are very strong religious individuals, whether they're Jewish or Catholic or whatever faith. I want them to honor that, because that is part of their belief system and their journey here. It's not for me to say. When I bring in other things, it's saying, oh, if I don't have a strong religion, then I can bring in other things that are my faith. I think some people, their religion is the outdoors, or their religion is family. So you get to decide individually what that altar represents for you. It's not about a faith, of religion. It's about the intention of summer solstice, a very powerful day, and what you want to co-create. And if your co-creation is with God, or co-creation is with the universe, or co-creation with whatever that looks like, that's up to you. It's not me to tell you, how to believe at all. I would never, ever go there. So it is about bringing in what you feel is valuable for you.
Question about what is the best color of candle to use?
There can be a lot of different things. So because it's summer, of course, fire, and we would think of fire as red, which I think can be very powerful. And in China, of course, it's yin and yang, so it might be black and white that you're wanting to look at. And white is the yang, I believe, which is masculine, which is the sun. So that would be another one. Also green. To me, green is about the heart's desire. It's about Mother Earth and it being as green. Right now in Colorado, we've had so much great rain that everything is popping to a really dark green. So that to me would be a three to four colors that you could use. Again, this is about intention. If you feel like it's about Mother Earth, it could be brown. It's the earth connection. It could be actually an altar with beautiful rocks that maybe you painted.
What about yellow?
Yeah, yellow for the sun. The yellow is also about trusting. It's the third chakra, and it's about your gut knowing and a feeling. So if you're wanting to trust your intuition more, yellow. And it also represents the sun, but white and red fire are also representing, the sun. So to me, I'm not a person that goes by, it has to look like this. And people that take my program, clients that take my program, no, they go, well, what's the best way? I'm like, your way. It's what you feel is important. I don't teach dogma, meaning, it has to be exactly this. It's what works for you and what we learn.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to learn an instrument, it could be a picture of a musical instrument, or have one on your altar.
So a couple comments going on that I thought.
Okay.
So Rick is, I think, wanting to create intentions for others. And maybe somebody that's worked with you before is saying, my understanding is you ask for permission.
Yes. So, of course, when you are concerned about other people, we want to make an intention like, I want them to have a better life. I want them to be healthy. I want them to heal. Not your lane, as I say in my program. So definitely ask for permission to say, I would like to do this for you, because they may not want your help. They may say, thank you, but no. And your intention of them, what you want for them, may not be what they want for themselves. Even if they said, I really want this. But again, it's like telling somebody, or someone saying, I really want to get healthy, but they're not willing to make changes. I would encourage you to do it for you and be an example that you can have things by creating this. And then they can ask, well, how did you make these changes? Well, this is what I did. So let people come to you, but I am very cautious about, without permission, without being asked, to make things for other people. I mean, if you had it's like someone's getting married and you weren't invited and you show up with yourself and a couple guests. No. You're not invited just because you think that person's really great and you're glad, you're happy for them. So, yes.
So use the power of this powerful
for you,
time.
Mm-hmm. For you, use it for you. And maybe share with them what they could do for themselves if they're interested. Let them find their power. I mean, don't take their power away. We think that this is always interesting. Well, if I help them versus, why don't you empower them? Say, I'm going to do this. You want to do it with me. That to me would be a much better solution. Okay, so this is about intention, manifesting, and releasing. So, when we get burnt out, we want to release the past. So a great time to use that fire element to release things, the water to cleanse. So those are a couple things to do. I'm going to be talking tomorrow briefly, and I'm also going to be doing a deeper class on Wednesday, the actual day of summer solstice. So I want to make sure that everyone puts this on their calendar and joins us again. This is something that you can incorporate. It's free because
you're awesome.
Because you're awesome. But I don't mean this class, but I mean summer solstice. Summer solstice is around the world. You're part of a huge community. People are traveling to New York to do yoga. You have a universal connection. And again, whatever your faith or belief or culture is, it's blended because we're all part of the same planet. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for a brief update, and then Wednesday, really putting all this together, and I'm so excited. So
tomorrow you want them to start to complete some of these things you've assigned.
I hope so. I want some little comments. I want a photo that says, how do you want your life to look? How do you want it to change? This is just stepping into it with the power of the universe.
So you'll be here tomorrow, same time,
same
for
channel.
A few minutes to check in with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Wednesday. So thank you. Bring on the sun.